Hey everyone, I'm Gerry T. Welcome to part 2. This time I'm going to be looking at Mono Blue Fairies, which is a deck that's been doing pretty well in the Magic Online PTQs. A buddy of mine, Tommy Ashton, top 8'd a couple, and then he finally won one. And this deck is basically reminiscent of Blue-Black Fairies from like the Lorwyn Time Spiral Standard. You're just like an aggro control deck. You want to prolong the game a little bit, and then whenever the time is right, you get to switch gears and become the aggressive deck. And it's really easy to do that with cards like Mistbind Click and Cryptic Command. Both of them are kind of time walk effects, and they give you a lot of time. And other than that, we just have some Vendilion Clicks, Spellstutter Sprites, and Scion of Uno, which are basically the creatures that the old Fairy deck used as well. A lot of the spells in Modern are really cheap casting costs, so Spellstutter Sprite is almost like hard counterspell a lot of the time, and then you have like Mutavault and the other fairies to increase your fairy count. Scion of Uno is a card that I didn't really like that much, but it's really important to the role of the deck where you're the aggro control deck. You need a way to switch gears and increase your clock and make it kind of fast so you can kill them before they kill you. And I really wanted to cut Scion because it seemed low impact, but it's just really bad idea to do that. You really do need Scions. Vendilion Click, kind of surprised there's not a fourth one. It's a pretty good card, not very bad in any matchup, but it's not really an all-star in either. And it's one of those cards that you can use it as a defensive thing early, like cycle out one of their best cards and block a Crit Ape or something, but the damage it deals really adds up, and basically every point of damage is important with this deck. Like if you have extra mana lying around and you're not going to use it, like you want to be firing up a man land, you want to be attacking them, and Vendilion kind of adds to that. You just have all this incremental damage that adds up. Spellskite's kind of a random card, but it's not really bad anywhere. It's good against Splinter Twin, it's good against aggressive decks, blocks, can protect your Mistbind Click, whatever your big clock is, and it can also protect Vidalcan Shackles, which I'll get to in a minute, but the counter suite is basically just, the best counter spells in Modern. Spell Snare, automatic 4 of, there's plenty of 2-drops running around in the format, and this is like one of the best ways to gain tempo in the early game. Mana Leak and Remand, not much to say there. Like you could play Rune Snag, but I think you don't really want the games to be going that late. You're not seeing a ton of cards, so I think the first and second Mana Leaks are probably better than the first and second Rune Snag, so it's just better to play 4. Maybe the fourth Remand is better than another Mana Leak. Not really too sure. Like I said, this is a tempo deck. You're not trying to prolong the game or like stop everything that they're doing. So Dispel is just a cheap counter spell, good against removal, good against Cryptic Command, stuff like that. So it's probably better than just playing 4 Remand and 4 Leak. You'd rather draw a mixed distribution of cards than just drawing like Remands and Leaks every game. But Shackles is the big reason to play this deck. Like any creature deck in game 1 is not going to be able to beat this card. There's not enough main deck artifact removal running around, and you have, look at this, 17 islands. It's a beautiful mana base. Shackles is perfect for that. And then to round out the mana base, we have some Tectonic Edges and Fairy Conclaves. So Conclaves could be more islands, but again, like the man lands and all the incremental damage is pretty important, so you want to draw some man lands per game. Tectonic Edge is pretty awesome in Modern right now, but the other non-basic land options are a little more important. But we do have another Tectonic Edge in the sideboard. Killing Tron lands is pretty important. A lot of people are getting greedy with 3-color decks, and it's just another way to like cement some sort of tempo advantage that you've gained. Like if you get to Mistbind Click them, untap, double Tech Edge them, something like that, like it's going to be pretty hard to lose. So. Also in the sideboard, we have a bunch of anti-aggro cards. You have some Threads of Disloyalties, Mortar Pods, Engineered Explosives, another Spellskite, and a Wormcoil Engine. So, Threads, basically anti-zoo card, takes like a Tarmogoyf, a Crit Ape, whatever, and it's okay against Affinity. It's not great. Like if you're paying 3 mana to steal their Signal Pest, like maybe it's something you need to do, but it's just kind of like a versatile all-around card, and that's kind of how the sideboard is built. You just want a bunch of 2-ofs. There's not like a 4-of card that's great against every single deck, so you have to kind of like hedge. Mortar Pod's pretty great. It's awesome with Shackles. If you ever set up that combo against a creature deck, you're almost certainly going to win. But there's also like a lot of Squadron Hawks running around. You want to stop those from getting equipped with swords and stuff like that. And there's also just like Grim Lavamancers, like I said, Signal Pests, random cards out of Affinity. Engineered Explosives is basically your catch-all to any permanent. Like, you can only do it for 1, but you play against like the Weenie decks, Affinity, or I don't know, like Pithing Needle on your shackles, something like that. You know, that's kind of what you're going for. Spellskite, again, good against Twin, good blocker, protects your guy. One Wormcoil Engine seems fine. They're most likely going to path to exile your Mistmind Click first chance they get, so then they're going to be down a path, and you're going to have another land. You're probably going to be able to cast this on time. Maybe there should be a second one if there's like a lot of Jund or Zoo running around, but one seems fine. More dispels for the Blue Mirrors, counters Cryptic Command, wins Counter Wars on the cheap. We have a couple Relic of Progenitus that are pretty good against Storm and other random graveyard decks. You know, Modern's a big format. You never know what's really going to show up. Faithless Looting was just printed, so in theory there should be some more graveyard decks, maybe some Dredge, I don't know. Then we have a couple Affinity Hate cards, Hurkyl's Recall and a Steel Sabotage, but Sabotage is also pretty good against swords, so I think this deck is pretty good. Like, if you like playing fairies, you know, you should probably give this deck a try. Caw-Blade's the other option, but I think I like this deck a little better. And that's about it, so stay tuned for part 3.